Thailand were playing some interesting stuff I checked, which was actually the other day when we were casting on Anubis. So
last you checked in with the pulse of Thailand.
Last I checked in with the pulse of Thailand. I mean, they were playing a lot of these high mobility compositions at the first defense, but on this time, it's going to be interesting to see what they pull out, I think, from their side. Right now, it looks like they're on the attacking side first.
It certainly does. It certainly does. That is because they are. Team China, though, I'm going to be keeping my eye on Leave. This guy is such a good Junkrat. We saw him yesterday have a phenomenal performance, but it did not work out for them. No. They had a very set defense for Kings Row Point A with Leave on the Junkrat, and it crumbled. It disappeared.
It just went, didn't it?
It just went within about 10 seconds. And Thailand knew exactly where they were positioned, knew exactly how to break it. Their coaching staff presumably did a great job at being able to break down that strategy. So we'll see whether they have some similar things here for Team China's defense on point A. Yeah. And they were running it on point B as well, which I think is a hark back to...
Interesting one.
Yeah, like the Houston Outlaws used to play that in the Overwatch League, for example.
Maybe they're big fans of Jake.
It could be.
You know,
Leave is just a really big fan of Jake.
Jake's been getting a lot of fans coming up to him as well.
That's
Makes me ever so slightly jealous.
Does it?
I'm just staring at him from behind the curtains.
I think I met your fan, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Just a singular one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have some information on what the issue is. Would you like to take a guess? I know you just heard the producer in your ear as well, but just pretend that you don't.
I'm going to guess they were hungry and went for a snack.
Okay, that's not the case.
Oh.
I can tell you it's a technical issue. Some of the players, they can't quite hear each other, but we're getting it fixed. I think they've got their best men on the job.
Best men?
Yeah, the best men.
Yeah.
And women.
Or just any people that happen to be around.
Yeah, any people in general who are good at IT support. You know, I used to do IT support as well.
Dark days.
They were dark days. We don't want to get into those because it might make me a bit upset, but I did used to do that. I used to fix people's laptops and stuff.
You could have taught that to people. You do have some skills.
I do have some skills outside of just talking nonsense for minutes at a time.
You would never look at this man and think he has skills, but they're hidden deep under the surface. He is competent at a couple of things.
I reckon I could fix a PC or two, even now. It's been like a year. I don't know if I still have the knowledge, the capability.
I love that your theory is that as you get older, you get better at Overwatch. You accrue knowledge. You know, you remember all of the things from your past. You get better. You work on things, more synaptic pathways.
Sure.
But a year later, you reckon you might have just forgotten everything you learned.
Yeah, I genuinely feel like I've been getting dumber with age.
Those two theories don't really match with each other, as far as I'm aware.
I think it's just because I've been putting all my time into Overwatch, so I feel like I've been getting better at that in particular. But in general, I feel like I've been getting dumber.
Getting better at Overwatch.
I've been getting dumber in general, I feel like. You know, as time goes on, I reflect back, I'm like, yo, I swear I used to be good at school, at like academics. I used to be good at that stuff. And now I'm just like reading something like, yo, I don't know what this says.
You may have become
can barely read anymore. It's a real problem,
That's not a good look.
Don't laugh.
That may be because we're in Thailand and they don't use the same alphabet. I don't know whether you've realized, but you are not just struggling to read. They do actually have a different alphabet here in Thailand. He's like looking at the signs everywhere. Oh my God, what's happened?
What has happened? I've forgotten. Please help
Back
me.
in the game, though. 20 seconds of setup time remaining, and I do not think that Mickey's going to be sticking on Symmetra. I'm actually a little bit surprised, honestly.
That we haven't been seeing Symmetra?
Well, not in every composition, of course, but I thought we would see some niche strategies with the new Symmetra. It does open up a range of opportunities. I think they reworked that hero really nicely. It just, someone creative needs to come out with one.
One day a team is going to come out with some bonkers strategy and it involves Symmetra. Yeah, it's going to blow all of our minds. It's going to be the meta, but until that day comes, we've just got to wait in patience as teams use rehashed owl strategies, as you see that China are using here with the Orisa on the low ground. This is a common one. We see this all the time. China wasting, I should say Thailand wasting no time, leading the charge straight away, but a Puto falling means that this push is pretty much done and dusted. We got to back off for a second here. Might get another kill, maybe, if they're not careful. Pan's falling very weak, but Thailand have now set themselves into a position here where they're just kind of getting picked off all over the place.
They're staggering, and both of their tanks are still engaged as well. Titawat upstairs, I think they're going to find out where he is. Maybe Titawat's gotten away with it.
Maybe. Look,
he's hiding up top.
Oh, that's sneaky.
Sky's underneath him. But I want to point out that Sky was positioned with Yveltal in this room that you see him in now. And that meant that when the Genji and the Tracer came in from Thailand, he was easily able to peel for them. But what is Titawat going to do here? But Brent, you're hyping it up, but nobody else on his team is anywhere near. He's definitely not going to go for anything yet.
Trust me, it's gonna pay off, dude. It's dropped down. Surely they can set something up. Please, I've hoped you up, Titawat. At least make some sort of play. Pani S falling means that this is not a great fight for Thailand to take. And he's dead, Josh.
The slow
gone.
clap for T2 there, I think. That did not go quite how you planned. But I think Thailand need to make some changes. I don't agree with running Genji Tracer into this composition anymore, especially with the Winston. I think there's much better ways of dealing with it. Well, maybe get a Wrecking Ball.
I'm not going to lie.
Maybe run a Sombra.
They're
but
picking off players, mate. They're getting kills here. Padapan's actually clutching this one out. He's got 3 picks on his team. Josh, you spoke too soon.
Oh, I don't understand. Where was Sky? Where was the Brigida to keep them all safe?
Too little, too late. Padapan has put on his boots and he says, come on, lads, get in my backpack.
Okay. All right, they completely proved me wrong. What do I know?
They really did. You were bigging that up. You were like, oh, China, they got this.
Yeah,
no, mate, sorry. Padapan's coming in.
Called that one too early, didn't I?
You really
Thailand
did.
Straight back in. T2 had barely been fresh off the spawn, and now they've got ultimates to be able to work with into
almost got a blade as well.
They got almost got a blade, primal
and
rage,
the support ults,
and the transcendence.
Dude, this is looking so good for Thailand right now. We'll see what they can do with it. The blade comes out from Maputo. Transcendence keeps him alive. He's looking for a kill, but he's not quite finding one. Gets enough damage in. Is he going to be able to find it? So strike through them. No, he gets focused down. Lee does a decent job of staying alive in the meantime. China going to start to get a couple of their spawns back as well, which means this fight is not going to go too well for Thailand, with Panias going down as well. Takes away a lot of their damage, a lot of their healing. It's going to be a difficult one for them to try and recontest.
Certainly is. What I want to point out as well, whenever I watch Crystal, is that this guy has incredible shuriken aim. Just from long distance, he seems to be able to predict the arcs of enemies' movements really precisely.
And that's incredibly hard to do, honestly.
It is. Well, you would know.
I say that as the
suck as Genji.
That's not appropriate for broadcast, Josh.
you
Leave
really
it,
are
fam,
terrible.
okay? I'm not that bad.
You're a lot worse than Crystal is, let's put it like that.
I've probably got better stats than Crystal on the main stage on Genji.
I don't think that may only
Compare
be true.
my owl stats.
You were farming.
Do we have a statistician? Stats guy? I don't know.
You're not good. Let's leave
Compare
it at
the numbers. Compare the numbers. I reckon I'm better than Crystal, fam, but he's going to be looking to see him prove me wrong with this blade. He's just waiting for the opportunity. His team's probably going to engage as they go through the choke point. There you go. No, not quite. Prove me wrong once again. Rotate onto the point. Okay, not bad.
If they give them all of this room for free, it could be dangerous for Team China. It's going to be hard to engage into Padapan on the Reaper, and they've let them into the point without doing any damage.
Oh, they're going to try and get a hack off, but they've now spotted Leave. Leave has to translocate into the back. Crystal has the blade as well. He's just holding on to it.
Very patient.
Poking, prodding, looking for an opportunity. Now the EMP comes in, and it's goal time, baby, but not quite good enough. Thailand, 2 kills straight away. The Soundbuyer was perfect by Rocket. He hit around the corner. He avoided the EMP. He got it off, and now his team's got the sustenance to take the team fight further. Mickey with the double kill. Moving in now. China has to use their sound barrier on only their lone support to see if they can contest this any further forward, but now it's looking like Thailand not dropping a single player or in a very solid position to try and win this team fight out further.
Great read, great performance from Thailand, but it's not going to be enough, I think. The spawns are coming in from China. Late Young, oh, this Death Blossom was huge. Gets behind Late Young's shield.
There you go.
Try and spawn. All of the tanks get shredded. That was looking dicey there for a second, but Thailand wrap it up.
Not bad.
And the opening was sublime from Thailand. I thought maybe they dropped a couple of players, they wouldn't be able to secure it, but they come through in the end. But at the beginning, to be able to have Rocket perfectly positioned, avoids the EMP and comes in and saves his tanks afterwards, that was phenomenal. But China played it patiently, perhaps a little too patiently, and now Thailand have set themselves up for glory, for the beginning of a comeback.
Not bad indeed. Gotta say, big fan of this crowd as well. I know they can't hear me, but very pleased with their performance.
They wouldn't want to listen to you anyway.
They wouldn't, no. They wouldn't also understand me. Unfortunately, I don't speak Thai or Mandarin.
Or read it, as we were
Or read it, as we've already established, yeah. But they've been brilliant, they really have. Cheering along both teams, even when Thailand hasn't been doing well. They've been clapping for China.
Absolutely. I was actually amazed at how many Australian fans we had here as well.
Oh, a huge number.
Unfortunately, to watch them lose to Denmark, but they've got more opportunities later on in the day. And they've been incredibly vocal. We're just a short hop away from Australia, you know, Brent.
We are, yeah. You say a short hop, it's still actually a while away.
Okay, I don't mean you can literally hop there on one leg. Right?
Okay, but it's still a long flight.
It is.
Do you know how geography works again? We've been over this.
No, I have no idea.
You're lacking.
It's the Mercutian projection over the map.
You're just saying big words now to confuse me, aren't you?
Yes, pretty much. When you take a globe, you know, and spread it out over a rectangle.
Of course. Yes. Confusing. Thank you for putting it in simple terms for me. Appreciate that.
No problem whatsoever. I'm perfectly used to doing that.
This is the Thailand defense that I was talking about before. When they run T towards on the Hammond, on the wrecking ball, however you want to call him. I like to call him Hammond by his name.
I like to call him Little Hammy.
Little Hammy, yeah.
Little Hammy the hamster.
You can call him whatever you want.
Ham boy.
Ham boy. Hamtaro.
Ham sandwich.
He's been known by a few names.
Snack.
He really has. Snack. Don't eat your hamsters, please. We don't condone that.
No,
do not do that one. But we'll see how China deal with it, because Thailand, they like to play aggressively with this. Right at the choke point, as you can see, they're already just chilling. Aputo's in the background as well. He's going to be gathering information, so he's already called out what composition China's running. And Pan, look at him. They haven't even spotted him. Here comes the engage. Into the back. Seismic slam straight into the back. Rocket punch to get out. He does the damage, but can they get the kill here? Not quite. Crystal's going to escape with a sliver of HP.
They picked up both supports, though.
Exactly.
Yveltal got juggled up in the air, couldn't really survive. Very difficult position for a Mercy to be in.
Not bad.
Now they know that Thailand are running this composition, and I think they're just going to continue here, China, because eventually I think one of the players of Thailand may overextend, and
here we go.
No resurrect possibility.
China going to be engaging in, seeing if they can get a pick or two, but it's only going to be them that are falling as Jushu ends up going down. Still, the hack up onto T-Watt means they might be able to get something back out of this. Pan has to seismic slam his way out of there. Falling very weak. They might be able to bring down Crystal. The heals are overwhelming. Mickey might be punished here if he's got none of the rest of his team, and they do indeed. The Blade is going to follow it up. They want to try and bring down Mickey. They do. I don't know if I agree with that, Crystal. It's a bit of a waste of a Blade, but they're going to see what they can do now. Anti-nade up on Crystal. Can't be healed up, but it seems like China are winning the team fight anyway. T-Watt coming back into it. Now they're going to unleash the Nano boost. Pan ES looking to try and turn this one around, but how about the rest of his team? China not really committing any bodies whatsoever, and Rocket gets the better of Crystal. Still, not too hard to do when you're playing the Brigitte, but does it anyway for the rest of his team. Doesn't seem to matter to China anyway, though, as they are just going to crush them onto the point.
They are absolutely. Crystal, the only player to really use an ultimate in that fight, apart from Yveltal's Valkyrie, just to keep everyone alive. And it was very early, like you were saying, but it allowed them such an easy... Whoa, we're actually getting a recontest from
This
Thailand.
Could be dangerous. The EMP comes out. It's wiping the slate clean, but they do manage to get a pick onto the China's Mercy, and that is not quite good enough, because China, they've overwhelmed it, and this is so dangerous now for Thailand. They've lost so many players this late. China could just roll straight onto the point.
A lot of free positioning here for China. They can get in through this choke point absolutely for free. But the spawns are already up for Thailand, and they did force them to use the EMP. So overall, I think that's a decent play from Thailand to get the recontest, force out some ultimates. They should still be able to hold.
Well, the mines are going to be laid down. T-Watt's going to try and use it to block the path. China use the Transcendent a little bit early there to lead the charge. In EMP also going to be layered on top. China seems to be winning out this team fight. Pan moves over to the Winston himself, seeing if he can stagger and stall this one out for as long as humanly possible. Still, nice sleep dart onto the Primal Raging Jushu means he's not going to be getting maximum value out of it. And Thailand looking like they're able to defend this one for the time being. They're getting the faster respawns. It's going their way. The question is, can they focus down these weak players? They're getting the kills here and there. Self-destructing to the back from China does not get any kills. And with that, Thailand get a successful defense.
It looked like China wanted one last commit there, with Late Young committing his self-destruct, but Crystal decided not to opt to use his Dragon Blade once the positioning had been forced from Thailand as Yveltal fell. So they've got another engage here. They can pair together the EMP and the Blade. Thailand are so far forward. This offensive, really aggressive defense is working well for them, but they've got to be careful.
Yeah, they've got to try and keep Pan alive. He's going to use that bubble to mitigate a lot of damage, and his Primal Rage as well. I don't think that's an optimistic one there, Pan. Don't know if he can get the Valkyrie Mercy.
Get him!
But still, he's going to be pressuring a lot of China back, falling down to 400 HP. EMP into the backline, though. Now Lee wants to try and set his team up for success once again, but it's going to mean an even trade once more for China. Again, the translocate back as Leave cannot stay in the fight. And Thailand are looking like they're in a very good position here to win this one out. Mickey tries to hide in his self-destructing mech to try and stay alive, but it doesn't matter anyway. Thailand get a nice hold.
We've seen this before from Thailand. The triple tank composition. that has Padapan moving over onto the Winston. And they have so much mobility with the Winston, the Wrecking Ball, and the Diva. They can afford to hold this far forwards. They have a lot of health to burn through, forces abilities and resources very early from China, and even if they die, they can get back onto the point. Look at how aggressive.
Straight up aggression into the back lines again. And I mean, it's going to be forcing China to use a lot of these ultimates. They do get a resurrect off the crystal. That was because of space created from the self-destruct. And now it might look to be backfiring here. The blade used by Crystal. Kills rolling in for them. Translocate away. Crystal's only going to be able to get the one kill. T-Dot now rolling his little wee hamster ball around, seeing if he can disconnect the back line. He gets the pile driver down, and he does bring down Sky, but nobody's on the point. Finally, Aputo forced to try and contest this onto the Sombra. Uses the EMP as well, connects it onto a few members, and Rocket gets the kill onto Crystal. Still looking good for Thailand. Heals up onto the low ground as well. If they get a D-Make onto Late Young, it's going to be brilliant.
And here you see Thailand's strategy and why it works for them. They can hold so far forwards, even when they force out the Resurrect on a 30-second cooldown, the Dragon Blade coming out from Crystal as well, and EMP was used. They lost 3 players, and they're still able to stabilize with the spawn advantage. So that's why they're holding this far forwards. Even when they're punished, they get a second fight.
Pan's using the Primal Rage early as well. He's just going to try and, like I said, disconnect the back line, and it's absolutely clinical. The supports have fallen for China. The crowd is roaring, and Thailand, they're looking monstrous right now.
They really are. I wonder what it would be best for China to run here. They definitely had a lot of success previously running Ryan Zarya compositions with a Reaper. The Reaper can just kind of shred through, but they need to stay tight and connected as a ball. And they need that easy entry that Thailand gave them last time.
As that was going on, Leave managed to win the 1v1 against Aputo, which meant that Thailand could not play as aggressively as they hoped, but still, they're going to re-engage once more. The mines are laid down. T-Dot falling very low, thankfully being backed up. Now the Nano Boost used onto Pan, into the back. Support's gone. Mincemeat. Blown up into smithereens. They might try and find a few more, but they do manage to get the Resurrect off. Pan, though, he's just going to be playing Ring Around the Rosies right now around their choke point. Crystal's made a last-minute swap now over to the Reaper, seeing if he can connect onto any of these targets. Mickey still not down and out. They didn't manage to get the D-Mech. He's just going to be hiding, and now China's going to start to play the point, slowly but surely. Nice EMP by Aputo. Connects onto multiple of them. Comboing it up as well with the pile driver from T-Dot means the Sky no longer in the fight. Mickey also with the self-destruct. Might opt to be using it a little bit earlier here as Crystal's clearing out the point with his Death Blossom.
Will get a lot of damage here into Padapan as well, who's been forced to use his Primal Rage. But again, China, they are just getting overwhelmed by this spawn advantage. Gushe has been forced to use his Primal Rage as well, but they just don't have enough damage. Even though they're picking off players, they're respawning even faster. China is desperate to reinforce here, but Crystal's so far away on the Doom Pit.
Really odd team fight coming out from China. They're looking to try and pressure this as much as humanly possible. And yes, they're getting a kill. Yes, they got the teammate onto Mickey, but is he going to be enough here? Especially when Panias has been given time to build up this Nano Boost, and they still haven't dealt with T-One. He's on the point, he's rolling around, he's causing all sorts of destruction, getting kills all over the bloody place. It's a triple kill in the tail end. China forced to disengage.
Thailand were able to beat this kind of aggressive defense previously themselves by running the Ryan Zarya. Crystal now with the Reaper as well. Crystal has moved away from the Reaper onto the Brigitte now, but they don't have a Lucio to be able to speed boost them to the point and quickly take position. They've only got 1 tick and there's 20 seconds left. This EMP has to be huge.
Leave, he's got to get value out of it, like you say in Sideshow. But Thailand, they've got ultimates to use here. Riley's going to be using up Nano Boost aggressively as well. Thailand are melting them. T-One, he's having fried China tonight, lads. And he's going absolutely ham on them. With only seconds remaining, China not able to get the ultimates off like they were hoping there. They will trigger the overtime, but it's too little, too late, as they're all crumbling beneath them. Panipan's going to be keeping them blocked out of the spawn rooms. They clean up the remaining players, and Thailand, they're going to be winning it, Josh. They take number 3.
What a sick performance coming out from Thailand there. They knew exactly what China were going to run in all of these situations. Look at Aputo. And the crowd love this as well. They know how good China are. They've been watching China play yesterday, and they know that Sweden were no pushovers, and Thailand are right up there with them. I've got such respect for the strategy coming out from Thailand. They're playing something unique. They're playing it well. China had no answer. On the offense, they were great. They completed it with 3.5 minutes. On the defense, they full-hauled them in the first round on point B. This is great stuff from Thailand, and they're right back in the game.
I'm so pleased to see this from Thailand. I really am, because coming into this, when we were talking to the teams individually, we were speaking to Thailand, and they were saying, Mickey was saying himself, he feels like this is the last opportunity for people to really see the potential of a lot of these Thai players. They don't get many opportunities on the big stage like this, with everyone watching, seeing what they're capable. A win against China, that puts them on the map, realistically. We've been bigging up all these Chinese players this entire series long. Thailand coming up one map now, like, this is absolutely magical.
And I don't think it was any specific player. I don't think it would be right to point to any specific player on Team Thailand and say that was the reason they won Anubis. You know, it was great to see Padapan be able to play the Winston so phenomenally. It's not something you normally see a flex DPS player be able to handle so well, but it's the strategy and the teamwork that really won that one for Thailand. They knew exactly what they were doing. Great engages, great disengages, use of ultimates, discipline, phenomenal across the board, you gotta say.
Yeah, absolutely chuffed with their performance, I have to say. I really am. But it's not over yet. There is still one more map, or maybe even two. Maybe even two maps. We could be treated to that. And it's going to be Gibraltar. This was China's pick. I can understand it, given what they've been playing. A lot of dive compositions. Gibraltar traditionally been very strong for that. We'll see what Thailand can do to try and prevent this to a degree. And, you know, sometimes there's a lot of maps to prep for in this World Cup, isn't there?
There is a huge amount, yes. The entire map pool is available. Obviously, in this fourth map, only the escort maps are available. But even so, there's quite a number of those. And it does become difficult for the teams to really hone strategies on every single one. And a little snippet here from the Pacific Contenders region, which a lot of these Thai players play in. This Gibraltar pick is not popular over there.
It's really not.
They don't play a lot of it. Whereas China, this perfectly suits their composition. Genji Widowmaker was previously meta. Now you're seeing a lot of Sombra Widowmaker. You can even play the Sombra Genji and Sombra Doomfist compositions really well. All of these excellent picks for Leave and Crystal. So I can absolutely see why they would bring us over here. And they should be confident, given their preparation work and how well they've been playing on these heroes previously, of closing it out. But Thailand, they're thirsty.
They are thirsty, mate. They are. And I'm excited for this game because China on the defense, they're running that Genji Widow. It's one of my favorite combos. It's almost age-old as well. Not quite, but it's there. It's getting there, you know. Josh, you're looking at me with these weird looks, you know.
I am. I don't understand anything you just said.
I'm making sense, lad. I'm making sense. It's you that can't understand me.
If you say
it enough, it will eventually make sense. But Thailand on the attacking side, and they are also going to be running with the Genji Widowmaker composition. We'll see what Padapan can do against Crystal in these individual Widowmaker 1v1s, but I'm also excited to see some more big nano blades. It's been almost a signature of Thailand so far this event.
It certainly has, and Sky has been favoring the Zenyatta over for China. So a slight difference in terms of the composition, which does come out big when the ultimates are online. It's actually Aputo who is playing the Genji here, because of course Padapan can't play both of them. But Aputo is a pretty decent Genji himself.
He is, yes. It's one of the things that he's known for. He likes to think of himself actually more these days as a hit scan main, but it's what he was famous for, as Genji during the World Cup, and also outside of it.
This Widowmaker battle is going to be absolutely pivotal. At the moment, both teams just trying to control space.
Yeah.
China in control of this high ground. Goose Ray playing around the blue box up top, but a dive in actually from Tita as he pressures the backline.
Yeah, they're going to try and coordinate it, and they do find the kills onto both the supports of China. Magical. Jushu tries to segregate as well the backline as well by breaking up the support line and the front line of Thailand, but not quite good enough. Now, Mickey does get desuited, but I think they're still going to be pleased with this. Now, China are in a position to try and recontest this now. Are they going to be able to get onto the point? Yes, indeed, they are. Now we see them moving in. Mickey goes down as well. Crystal looking for the headshot. They're diving into the back line, but now it's Aputo's turn to try and turn this one around. Unfortunately brought down by the Valkyrie Mercy. Trust me, mate, I know that feeling far too well. And China are going to be able to get a nice recontest in the nick of time.
Is that Neptuno?
Might be.
Chinese
Honestly,
Neptuno.
I'm not joking. Valkyrie Mercies are the bane of my existence as both a Genji player and a Widowmaker player. Yep. Impossible to hit. Impossible.
They really are, especially if you can't aim. But
I can aim. I never have that problem.
Of course, which is why they're the bane of your existence. As we were saying, though, there's a potential here for Infrasight to come out on Padapan, which will give Aputo all the knowledge he needs to be able to use this Nano Blade. So
here we have it.
Information.
Now they're blading to the back, but they're just kiting them around. They're not finding the kills. One slice will do it. He's going to go all the way to the other side of the map to find the rest of them.
Oh,
but
wow.
they body blocked him as well up top. He can't even use this Transcendence, but have they committed too many resources? Mickey is on the point. Leitung sends out the self-destruct, tries to force them back. Thailand looking to try and recontest this now as we see them using all of the abilities. Titawat with the Primal Rage takes out two of them. Crystal and the Mercy gone out of the fight. We'll see what else they can do as well. It's going to be the triple kill for Titawat. The rest of Thailand could look to recontest this, but it's a difficult point and it's a tricky point at that.
Leave's doing so well on this Genji, actually, just causing chaos, and Leitung stayed alive on the point for so long. That really should have been a completion.
Wow.
Look at Gushui go as well. Primal Rage has been fantastic.
Unreal.
The whole time. He's so mechanically good on this Winston.
Okay, all right, China, we get it. Very good. I mean, Thailand, what do you feel like went wrong for them in that previous team fight? Because it felt like they committed a lot of resources there.
They committed 5 people in the dive. It was only Mickey left alive to try and push the cart forwards, which works well if everyone from China peels back. But Leitung didn't. He stayed on the cart and they didn't get progress. That meant that Thailand had to turn around just after they killed the supports, and that makes it for a very long, sticky team fight too close to China's spawns.
30 seconds remaining. The infrared sight's still up here for China as well, so they know all the information, know exactly where Padipan is, and they're just holding strong. This defense looking great for them. Titawat moves into the back. You see that little turnaround, avoiding a headshot. Immediately Rocket falls. The Mercy going down. Not ideal. Apudo, he's going to get value with this blade, but he's only managed to find one. Can't even get a second one. One slice will bring him down to half HP, but he's going to win this 1v1 out, but he doesn't do it. Leave gets the better of him. 8 seconds remaining. It's all up to Titawat to try and make magic out of thin air. He's going to try and zap down the Mercy player, but Crystal's there with a quick little headshot, and that's going to be a full hold at that first checkpoint for China.
Domination coming out from them, and honestly, Leave outplayed Aputo ridiculously on that Genji.
He did.
Aputo had one opportunity really to close it out. Yes, he got both supports eventually, or rather didn't, but he got the Mercy and then forced the Transcendence on very low health out of Sky. So decent from him, but he required so many resources and wasn't able to get much done over the rest of the map that I feel they really suffered from having Padapan not be able to play both heroes there.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I feel like there were some limitations. You can definitely tell Thailand was caught off guard in terms of how to play Gibraltar as a map as well.
Yeah, great map pick from China.
Incredible map pick. I mean, it completely played into their hands and a lot of their strengths, and that's the danger you get into, you know, when you give China free reign to pick whatever they like.
Absolutely, and I think you have to say that you've got great depth in the flex DPS players of Leave and Crystal. They can play a huge range of heroes, and the fact that they can both play Widowmaker, Genji, Sombra, Doomfist, Junkrat to a really high level gives China all the depth they need offensively.
Well, we'll see what Thailand can do. Not an impossible task to full hold China, but a very difficult one at that.
We've seen it happen before. Gibraltar's point A can be a little sticky to get through, but it looks like they're discussing strategies right now. Brian, what's going through their head? I mean, would you run a Torb?
I would probably not run a Torb.
You would?
I would try and win. Now, I don't run Torb on Gibraltar, mate. That is throwing. That is throwing.
I think, no, actually, some of the Korean teams do run Torb on Gibraltar. It was actually meta for a little while.
And they're wrong.
No, they weren't.
And they're wrong, Josh.
It works.
You know, where are these Korean teams now?
In Korea, winning contenders.
No, fake news. But I gotta say, I mean, I'm a big fan personally on Gibraltar first. You know, the way the spawns work out. I know there's probably a lot of new players at home or new people at home who are watching this. They're wondering what we're talking about when we say about spawn advantage and things. Can seem quite complicated sometimes, but some maps are designed in a way where the defenders will respawn and get back into the fight quicker than other maps. Gibraltar's one of them. So you can actually take a lot of forward team fights right at the gates. If you lose any players, it's not the end of the world. You're just trying to stall out that progress. Rogue, very famous team. They were popular, you know. They used this strategy a lot on Gibraltar.
That's true. I thought that was just going to be its own little nugget. Rogue. Very famous team.
Boom.
But actually, Gibraltar was one of the only maps that we used to see, or just recently saw in the Overwatch League, where the defensive team would stay in spawn, scout out what the offensive team's composition was, and then change their roster accordingly. We haven't seen it too much recently, but I think that's still a very viable strategy, especially when so many things can come out on Gibraltar. For example, their Team China definitely could have run the Brigitte when Thailand went over to the Genji Tracer composition. instead, they just kind of shut them down with Crystal. And he's been such a great sub for them in the halftime.
Yeah,
I wonder actually why they do that specifically for Anubis and the Escort map, because Shy can also play the Tracer and the Widowmaker particularly to a pretty high level. Crystal's mainly been on the Widowmaker, but it seems like there's some intricacies to their hero pools that we haven't quite figured out yet.
Could also be play style. I mean, some teams do like to do this. They sub in specific players for specific maps because it feels like it meshes better. You know, do you have a map that you feel like you perform better on? For me personally, I do. When I'm booting up ranked and I see a certain map, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Which one is it?
You don't need to know that. No, don't worry about it.
No, because I check your win rate on it and see that it's lower than all of the others.
No, for me, it's got to be. I mean, King's Row. You're never upset to see King's Row loading in, you know. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like everyone's got a map they're comfortable on.
I like Hanamura.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Controversial. I kind of like Hanamura as well.
Controversial.
I play a lot of Tourbillon on Hanamura on first point.
I love the Petal Blossom.
Yeah. You just like the aesthetic
cherry blossom.
of it. The map design.
I just run around looking at things.
Yeah, I know you do. That's your gameplay, mate. You're just constantly looking up in the sky, just like, oh, what's going on? I'm like looking at you. I'm dead, and I'm spectating you, and you're off on the other side of the map. Don't be like that. Sorry. Come on, pal. So, in case you're wondering why we're chatting, we don't just want to overtalk Resident Sleeper in the chat. We just want you to see our faces. No, that's not the reason. We have a pause, in case it wasn't obvious. We're just waiting on a couple of things to be sorted out. And hopefully we'll be back into the game shortly, because it's an exciting one.
That's
Thailand,
true.
You know?
I think now that we have this opportunity, it would be interesting, I think, to talk about what we've seen so far from this stage.
Okay.
You know, so because China do seem like the strongest team.
Yeah.
But I think Australia, I originally had them probably in second place, and they seem to have underwhelmed a little bit, underperformed against Denmark.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is this Australia crumbling a little bit?
I feel like Australia in particular, I feel like a little bit too reluctant to switch off certain compositions. They like to prioritize CKM on the fire quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wondering what's going on half the time. It's clearly like a comfort pick for him as well.
Yeah,
they have a lot of strategies tailored towards it, but in a lot of cases, it doesn't work as well as against, you know, like it would against these World Cup teams when they're just packed full of capable talent and a lot more discipline as well, when they can react to a lot of these plays as well. So yeah, I've been disappointed with Australia, you know. I was hoping these guys would be playing a little bit better. But enough about Australia. I know the guys are in the green room right now and they're just staring at this TV just like, what are you doing, you know?
I think they're actually probably in their kangaroo onesies, just snuggled up.
Chilling.
They don't care about anything we say.
That's true.
They're
secure enough.
They're fully confident in their own ability to come out and smash the rest of the teams.
Well,
it's Sweden I'm looking forward to.
That's going to be a good one. Later today, Sweden-Spain. Yeah. It's also going to be covered by yours truly, me and Joshua Wilkinson. In case it wasn't obvious, reinforce the main tank for Sweden. He's also our roommate. So we're looking forward to that one.
Share a room with him.
We do. I share a bed.
That's not true at all.
It is true. He just doesn't like to make it public. But we're going to be getting into the game. It's begun. Enough about us. Once again, please, let's play the gameplay. And here we have it. We're going back into Gibraltar. Big fan of Overwatch in general.
I love that you feel the need to state that. no insecurities at all. I'm interested to see what Thailand run on the defense here. It does look like they're going for this Brigitte pick coming out from Mickey, with a Puto moving over to the D.Va. So this was a question mark that I had when they played against Denmark, was do they have somebody else who feels capable enough on the flex tank, on the D.Va, potentially on the Zarya at times, so that Mickey can play his trademark Brigitte. But honestly here, I think that if Leave plays the Hanzo instead, they can just counter this Brigitte pretty easily. They just have to play around it. So this isn't a hard counter by any means from Mickey.
We're about to find out. Pan's got to go huge on the Widowmaker as well. See if he can hit a couple of these shots. China going to be rolling out once again with this Widow Genji combo when it comes to the DPS. And they're just scouting now. China looking for information. They're pushing the cart as freely as they're allowed without trying to contest and take any team fights.
Yeah, neither of these teams running Sombra at the moment as well, which has been a very popular pick on Gibraltar. It allows you to contest the high grounds. Mickey's staying up top as long as he can, but they will drop down and contest at some point when it starts getting up. There's really not that much distance that China have to cover, so it has to be quite an aggressive defense from Thailand.
We'll see what they do. Right now, both teams playing very defensively, very passively.
There was a jump shot there, a grapple shot actually from Crystal, but he didn't spot the head of Padapan. Could have been disastrous.
Oh, and they're going to be diving in. China finally going to be looking to see if they can take down any one of these players, but Thailand are just holding strong here. Feels like China are playing very scared. They're just, I believe, waiting for an opportunity for Crystal to get a pick on the Widowmaker, but he's not finding them.
I would say patient more than scared, but that's because I like to give them the benefit of the doubt. And there goes Rocket. This defense could crumble right here.
Yeah.
The Mercy going down means Pani is also available. Whoa! Is Padapan going to clutch? Is this his time?
He might be looking for opportunities. He needs to hit these shots, though. Going to be finding a couple, not quite finding the kills, though. Mickey in the back line, picked up a few, but they need to get on the cart. Please do not Charlie 9 at this one. Aputo coming back in as well. He's getting the damage done, and China, they disengage.
They do. They're looking to back off.
Sweating.
Those picks from Padapan were absolutely crucial. Because not only did he get a pick, he also, a couple of picks really, he forced other players to come and contest him, who were then cleaned up. So just by being a threat, he made China take worse positioning on the point.
Well, China now have the wall hacks, they've got the information, they've got the infrared sight. See what they can do with it. The dive comes into the back lines. Aputo falling very low. Try and keep these players up. Mickey using the rally. Self-destruct as well. Needs to try and bring him down. But Crystal, he's moving up here. Trying to take this 1v1. Padapan, you absolute nutter. He's being assaulted by Leave, but still finds the kill. And got Leave as well.
Both of them.
This guy is insane. He's 15 years old.
And playing phenomenally. First time on a big stage like this.
Goodness.
So young. All of this pressure on him in the final moments, what could be the final moments of the match if he fails, and he delivers phenomenally for Thailand.
He's nuts. Dude, he is absolutely nuts.
Calm under pressure or what? Just deals with both Leave and Crystal there on the flank, and China have to reset a little bit, but Transcendence and the Dragon Blade available. They need a decent approach though, and nobody's scouting right now. They don't know any of the positioning from Thailand.
It's all about the Dragon Blade. Unleash into the back, tries to go for the supports, and then I are going to be able to find the one, but they've traded off another player as well. They end up losing their Mercy player, and it's an even trade right now. Still, China looking like the stronger team in this engagement. Half HP, moving down. Padapan's got to try and hit these shots onto Jushu. He can't miss these, but Jushu's outplayed him. The old wraparound of 2018. Still looking to try and play this one forward. Crystal hitting shots all day long. But now Thailand are starting to get the respawns. They might be able to still defend this one. China going to get the resurrect onto Crystal as well. Setting themselves up in a decent position. The high ground going to start to get contested here by T1. Moves back down with the rest of his team. No kills rolling in for them just yet, but Panius now using his Transcendence as well. Really just trying to take this team fight further forward.
Gushui with the Primal Rage got into the backline and killed Padapan. No clutch potential over there. Recall force.
Final seconds.
They're so close in this overtime. Mickey's going to provide armor to the rest of his team, but Panius drops. They don't have any more ultimates. It's clutch time here for Thailand.
Mickey just trying to cause all this havoc in the back line and then finding the kills. Thailand might be doing this. They've already got one pick. Can they get a second one here? Crystal, another resurrect into the back lines, but I think Thailand might have just clutched this one out. They're focusing down the players. All the kills are going their way, and they have taken Gibraltar.
Unbelievable performance from Thailand.
Unreal.
What a delivery for their fans as well that have all come out here to see them. they can't quite believe they've done it.
Oh my goodness.
What a full hold on Gibraltar. Point A. Padapan coming out with the clutch, forcing players into him. Titawat playing so well as well. Mickey controlling space. I've got to say, China looked like they got in their own heads there.
They really did, mate. They really did.
Crystal and Leave, they kind of beefed some stuff there. And then all of a sudden, the time's run out.
Bro, hold me, please. What was
You're
that?
a big lad, don't fake. I can't pick you up.
Dude, that was insane Overwatch.
That was nuts.
Like, to full hold it on Gibraltar like that, for Thailand to take the opportunity. Padapan with the clutches multiple times, both Leave and Crystal pressuring him, and he still wins out the 1v2.
Mad.
Like, that's absolute insanity, dude. Absolute insanity.
And Thailand have forced a Game 5 against what everyone was thinking after yesterday was the best team in this group. They've blown it wide open. If Thailand,
they win,
Thailand are 0-2 right now in this group. If they can bring this kind of pressure to China, who else can? Is China-Denmark going to be...
Dude, if they win
nuts?
against China, mate, All I'm saying is that I think that Thailand are going to be going to BlizzCon. If they win this next map...
Well, they still have to keep up that kind of momentum against all the other teams, and they're not 2 down. That would still be really difficult for Thailand to be able to pull it out. But that would definitely be the beginning of some kind of BlizzCon comeback. That's...
Dude, the reverse sweep, if they do this...
That's
oh
spicy.
My God, this is some spicy Overwatch, man. I'm a big fan of it. I want to jump into this game ASAP, but I know, understandably, the players, they need a little bit of a break.
They need to calm down after that.
You know, lower the heart rates a little bit, just calm it down. Obviously, there's a little bit of interim, but I wonder if we can get the map graphics up so we can find out what map we're going to be going to next. It is going to be Oasis as the control map. Boy, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. Think of how close Ilios was earlier.
Absolutely. Ilios on a dime. It's pretty similar compositions apart from University. University on Oasis is the big one that tends to be different. Teams like to run a lot of more Reinhardt-centric compositions. We've seen Titawat and Mickey pair pretty well on the Reinhardt and Brigitte, so maybe they run that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You got to favor China either way, I think, but I think they're getting in their own heads. I think they can sense a comeback, and they're playing against a ridiculously loud crowd out there.
When the crowd is here, exactly, that was the point I wanted to make, and you stole it from me, but I'm glad you made
it
up
anyway.
Because we have a friendship here. I'm allowing you, you know. I'm not going to give you too much smack about it. Don't worry, pal, it's okay. But yeah, this crowd, when you've got this crowd behind you of 2,000 people screaming for your team in these tail moments, especially after a loss like that, that was map pick for China. They probably felt they had it in the bag. First hold on.
They look like they should have.
Gibraltar, they should have had it, mate.
They should win that every day of the week. Not today.
No, not today, pal. Not today. I can safely say, though, we are slowly moving into the game.
I love it.
Not at a quick pace, but a slow pace. You know?
The climax of this series.
It's building up. Ooh.
It's going there. Straight up.
Going there.
Straight up. But I did not expect this to be going to a 5th map. I actually thought that this would not be that great a series.
Dude,
I was expecting Thailand to roll over a little bit. They have not even slightly made it easy for China. And it all comes down to this on Oasis.
Please don't choke, Thailand. I'm rooting for you, lads. Come on. I probably shouldn't.
Completely
should remain unbiased, but here we are.
In the middle of Bangkok, the first time that Thailand has hosted a big event like this, and all the Thai fans have had an opportunity to come out and see their team, see such unknown players on the world stage, compared to, I mean, also unknown players, some of them on China, but Leave, Sky, Late Young, these guys.
Hidden strategy, the Mickey Tourbillon.
I think it's coming out.
Big fan, big fan.
I believe in it.
He's probably not going to play that.
Maybe not.
There we go, straight onto the Diva. And now we'll see, the gates are open. Final map. Ladies and gentlemen, China versus Thailand. It's going the distance. If Thailand do this, they will successfully reverse sweep the juggernauts of this group. See if they can do it now. Immediately taking control of the point. The positioning is theirs. Just rotating around now. China are going to be poking. Again, searching for an opportunity to just pounce onto them. They get the hack onto Late Young. Don't quite have enough damage to pressure them down for now, but it looks like China are assaulting them from every single angle. Still, Thailand backing off. They're falling very weak, though. And both the tanks have fallen, giving China an opening here to win this point out.
Absolutely. I think Joshua and Late Young played that so much better than their counterparts on Thailand. The positioning, playing behind cover. Late Young, I don't think even took a point of damage the entire time, despite being hacked up. Whereas Thailand's tanks were just eating damage the whole time, just in order to hold on to that point positioning. And in the end, China come out with the advantage. Both of these teams running Sombra Tracer right now as Padapan makes the switch away from Genji. There isn't as much clutch potential with Padapan on Tracer. He's good. He did play very well at the end of Gibraltar, I think it was. But honestly, those nanoblades have been pivotal for Thailand, so I'm interested to see what they do here.
Apudo and Padapan are currently behind enemy lines. They're forcing them out, and the EMP is going to be used pretty early on here. China, they're going to collapse onto them. There was no setup really there from Thailand. I think they were taking their sweet time, but they're going to use the nano boost anyway. They get Sky down. The Crystal's back on the Tracer, winning out these 1v1s. Has to back off, though. Quick little blink away will mean that he survives to get the little 1v1, a little tussle. And 50% in counting now for China on this first round of Oasis.
I got to be honest there, I think that was a misplay by Pani S. I don't know whether it's a big stage, nerves maybe getting to him, and he felt like that was the correct opportunity to use the nano boost. Don't think there was much chance of that fight turned around just with that one ultimate. But they do have the EMP available this time. We've seen some very clean engagement again.
Yep, straight away looking to see if they can force any ultimates out from these teams. Panipan brings down Leave. If he can get anything else, it would be golden, but not quite. Crystal seems to be clutching this one out with a Halberd Juice shoot, using a lot of ultimates to try and win this one out. Quick little reset from Thailand once again, 80% and counting for China. You're not pleased, Josh? I see you shaking.
I'm not, because Aputo used his EMP so late in that fight. They didn't use it as a quick engage tool like they have done previously. They didn't use it to silence somebody crucial on the other team that was going to peel for them. Maybe get a hack onto Crystal or something and take him out.
Do or die time.
And now he's moved on to Genji, so now they've just got to dive in the final 5 seconds.
They got to do this, but Leave is in the background. He's giving them information. He's going to be calling them out. Mickey's going to get hacked up, but the 1v1 is won. Pan wins it against Crystal. That sets Thailand up for victory now. That gives them an in onto this point. Going to be trying to capitalize, but moving in slowly but surely. Now we see the Transcendence being used by China. Just the tail ends, just the dregs of this fight. Really trying to pull it out of the bag still. Thailand looking to move in. Rocket dies with the sound barrier. It's not quite good enough. And they've only got a few more members of the team on the point. China going to be taking round number 1 in an overwhelming fashion.
Well, we were worried that Thailand might crumble under the pressure. At the moment, it looks like China are putting their foot down. This is a series that we should have won, should have been dominant in.
Yeah.
That was a dominant round. Still time for Thailand, sorry. They almost reverse swept the series. They can reverse sweep this map as well. But it's going to require much better play from them than what we saw just then. With wasted ultimates, kind of suboptimal compositions as well.
They got to clean it up.
They got to clean it up, but we've seen better play from them. Thailand can do it.
When you've got that crowd of over 2,000 people on your side, I mean, there's been
crazier things have happened.
It's been good for them, and crazier things have happened, Josh. You're
I'm
exactly
not sure
right.
what. Couldn't name one off the top of my head, but crazier things.
We'll see, we'll see. China going to be rotating, going to be taking control of the bounce pad and the high ground. Thailand opting to just rotate around the opposite side. And again, this is the game that these teams like to play. They like to poke, they like to prod, they like to see for weaknesses and then dive onto a target or two. Right now, Thailand seem to be pressured off the point. Crystal's doing a decent job of that. And the point's now unlocked. Thailand getting a bit of early capture time, but now here comes the contestation from China. They're looking to try and set up a few of these plays. Juju falls. That's the main tank gone for China now. We'll see if Thailand can pressure this even further forward. Nice by Panipan. Wins it down, the beat down and the headshot onto Sky. Gonna get anything else, trying to bring down a loose shot. He's done it again.
What a 15-year-old little legend. He is absolutely tearing them up. Team China did not expect the pocket Panipan coming out from Thailand.
That's tickled me, man. That's tickled me. The fight's not over yet, though. They're getting hacks all over the place. Finally bringing down Pan, but might not be enough. Thailand's still in control of the point. And city center of Oasis, you can just control this for so long.
Yeah, especially with such mobile heroes. You can dip and dance and dodge and dive in and out and around the point forever.
You gotta have fun with it, Josh.
I am.
You know, you're
having fun.
That's the important thing, isn't it?
Leave with an EMP, Aputo with the Dragon Blade.
EMP into the back. He's going to try and bring down Pani S. He's got the rest of his team backing him up as well. EMP immediately deletes about 150 health away from any Zenyatta. South is going to be used by Mickey there. Doesn't get any kills off the back of it, but does get the teammate onto Late Young. That sets them up. They can see if they can try and clutch this one out. Tidawat, very low, is going to fall to Leave again. Finally, Thailand end up losing the team right, but they did manage to get 54% of the point.
They did, and Panias died with his Transcendence. Didn't actually use it there because he got hacked up with the EMP. So they can still come in with this Transcendence and Blade from Aputo. Aputo hasn't had a big clutch blade like Panapan had earlier in the series. This is his time to shine, though. If they can get in and get a pick before Sky has his Transcendence active, they're in a great position.
Well, they're going to see if they can set something up here. Aputo, like you said, has the blade, but he's fallen very low, and Crystal's brought him down immediately. No resurrect available for him either, because there's no mercy being ran. But now, it looks like Thailand want to try and contest this anyway. They've got the kill onto Crystal. It's going to be that 1-for-1 trade. Moving in, the Primal Rage is used by Tidawat, just contesting them up, and now we see the Transcendence used by Pani S, being pressured into the back lines. Searching for a kill or two. If they get even one of them, it could be beautiful. But now we see the Transcendence being used. Nice sound barrier, connecting to multiple of them right now, and it's going to be answered back by China using their own. Looking for kills. Aputo with the blade. He's got to go clutch. He's got to go huge. He's found one. Might be good enough for them, but still, China are in control of the point.
Great pulse bomb from Panapan as well. He
exactly what
Crystal,
they needed.
Wins the 1v1 and they recap the point. great play. Abudo, you know, he forces out that sound barrier. He even finds a pick in the middle of it onto the Zenyatta. That's all you can ask him to do. He did his job. Then Padapan as well with a clutch. Thailand are looking strong. Gushui as well had a primal rage, but it didn't work out for them.
Well, we'll see what they can do now. Thailand are in control of the point. It's city center. They can keep this going for quite some time, especially with Mickey holding onto that self-destruct. China looking to engage. Abuto forces Swift Strike away. Has to disengage. Tidor gets hacked up as well into the back line. If they can bring down that main tank, China might have an opportunity to move themselves in here. Tidor forced to leap away, falling very low, and now Mickey's sending out the self-destruct, just trying to get back into his mech as well. Meanwhile, the EMP used, unleashed onto them. Couple of players hacked up. Is it good enough for China? Possibly. Capturing this one up. They're going to get a hack up onto Mickey, but 99% is available now for Thailand. They've managed to stall it out. Nobody's on the point here. I don't think China realized they might. Oh my goodness, if they ended up losing that to a Charlie Niner again, I don't know what to say. But they should be winning this team fight out. It's a hard one to recapture, but there you have it.
In some senses, Thailand don't even want to go in there and contest. They've already got it.
They got 2 more picks.
Oh my goodness, they've got it. They've got an opportunity here. Panias with the Transcendence as well. Lever's used his EMP in the previous fight.
Thailand oh my goodness. Here we have it, the initiation in. Tidawat straight into the back line, trying to separate the supports by laying down the bubble, blocking the healing away from them. That's going to force out the primal rage from Tidawat. Once again, using it to just try and discombobulate them all around the place, but Tidawat gets brought down. Padapan desperately searching for some damage, seeing if he can bring down one of these players. Late Young, I should say, has to use his staff to strike. Now the sound barrier going to be used on top, concatenated by Crystal. The last minute switch to McCree, who's fighting the picks, and this is disastrous for Thailand. Last minute blade coming out from Abuto. He's got to go clutch here, but he's hacked up, and the damage is just not there. He can't pierce through the Transcendence, Josh.
No, Padapan was taken out by McCree. The switch from Crystal
99%.
The overtime taken away.
Last-ditch efforts. I mean, Mickey's going to try and stall it out, but I think that'll be it. The team kill horn is sounded, and China take Oasis in the end. Got taken to all 5 maps, but they finally do it. But my goodness, did Thailand make them sweat?
Oh, Thailand pushed them so far and really could have won it, or at least won that stage there in the final moments. I've got to say, I'm so impressed with Padapan.
I really am.
Plays a range of heroes. Phenomenal little young player. He's a legend, zipping around the map.
He's a 15-year-old legend, apparently.
He absolutely is.
According to you.
But you've got to give credit to China. They pulled it out when it mattered. They were more dominant. They made the switches when it mattered. I think they struggled to deal with Thailand's aggressive play because China are such an aggressive team themselves.
Yeah.
They like to get deep into the enemy backlines. They like to play for supports and play aggressive with Gushu and Leave. And instead, when the enemy team is playing those kind of compositions into them, they should just revert back to the McCree, the Brigitte. And when Crystal did that, he absolutely shut them down and they dominated. But the story of this is not that China won. The Thailand looks so good.
I agree, yeah. Thailand looking really good, taking it to 3-2 to China. A better scoreline than Sweden, might I add as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting up better performances against China here. What does this say